sweet voice.
Live and 5 minutes early.
No
This has never happened before.
Carla's not in the shop yet, but she will be next week. That's, there's something slightly wrong with her. We hope it's slight. And she has to get smogged, too,
That's right.
Which sounds a bit obscene.
So this morning we are in the luxurious, this is a 1934 Bentley. As you can see, here's the art.
I was hoping for a Model A, but that's just my idea of a Bentley, I think.
the Art Deco vents here.
With some of my grandpa's bootleg in it.
And the gigantic, must be 12-foot tall hooded ornament.
Okay. They don't want to hear this.
Anyway, do you want to say
hello?
This is Taryn, owner of this Bentley. But anyway, Constance we're in the second parking lot, and because we're in a
Taryn drives, twice as fast as we do too.
we even got on, what do they call it? A freeway.
Freeway for a half a mile or something.
For a while, yes.
Okay, I didn't
dear.
have to pee too bad, so it was okay.
I'm sure everyone appreciates that. Yes.
Freeways scare me,
Okay.
especially when Lon drives it. Well, he doesn't do that anymore. Good morning. It's the day after the inauguration, so I thought you're all, just settled in and calm. And some of you might actually be celebrating. What do I know? Birds of a feather don't necessarily flock together.
That's right.
Anyway.
But most of us need to know that
I'm just gonna,
there's everything to live for.
I'm just going to talk about, very, very vaguely and very quickly, the Hindus, the Indians have their yugas, cycles of when it's difficult. No, we're all concerned here. I'm assuming you're all here concerned about a self-liberation, and then after that, you help liberate everyone else because there is no everyone else. But anyway,
you gotta take them with you. Okay.
Yeah. So, Lon, you're not aiming at me. You're aiming at the ceiling. I forgot what I was doing. Okay. Anyway, when it's easier to become enlightened, all the cycles are about is sometimes it's harder to become enlightened, and sometimes it's easy for you to become enlightened. And we have, and the Chinese have cycles too, which are just shorter. When you read the I Ching, it's auspicious or not to try to do this, but it's not impossible. It's just not auspicious. You can do anything at any time, but expect, it might be a little harder, or you might be one of those people who just knows how to cut the crap. So, and in the West we call it aeons. When it's just a cycle of the way things are, but the way things are is kind of more like the way things are in the outer illusory world anyway, and it's just right now it's just our political environment mostly, about the way things are that people are concerned about, and we can all still do our great work, liberate ourselves and others, forgive each other and ourselves and love each other. We can still do all those things. It just may be a little more difficult, and we may have to help each other.
Challenging.
Help each other a little more. But even if it's only with, sometimes all we can do is help each other with good juju thoughts, and surround ourselves with good juju thoughts, because like I said, there's no other. So anyway, don't be too down, or certainly don't think you're going to attack this situation with any sort of stupid violence, because I have a feeling that that's going to just be stubbing your toe against the door on purpose. But anyway,
don't wait 4 years to be happy.
Because
they're
more of a cover-up anyway.
Yeah,
if you're gonna, you may have to deviate from your usual thought that there's two parties, one good and one evil, because one just knows how to cover it up better than the other. That's all. So anyway, I am now going to go in and buy more vegetables because, with gratitude, I say that to everyone who helps us. We are able to buy a lot of vegetables.
Yes.
And believe me.
And people our age
need vegetables.
Need vegetables a lot.
For all sorts of reasons.
Our doctor, we have the same doctor, and
who's not allowed to talk about each other.
Yeah, right.
Don't talk about me to him, and don't talk about him to me, please.
But he knows enough to know how many vegetables I eat.
Because I do talk about vegetables
and
everywhere. You're not the only ones I talk about with vegetables.
The general questions they ask for kind of a little physical.
Anyway.
Well, how are things in that direction? Oh, really?
Anyway,
maybe 5 times a day, you know.
Healing and peace and freedom from fear to you all, and I'm going to now leave you Lon to tell poop jokes or whatever he's doing.
Okay. Do you have anything to add?
No. Condolences to that person who said that their nephew died. Very sorry to hear that.
Yes. Okay. All right, dear. I got a little something that a friend bought, this little stand here.
Yeah, wait, let me see if we can
okay.
fit that in right. Where did that go?
Because I did have a little something planned.
There you go.
Oh, well, can't we get both of us in there?
Oh, you don't need to see me.
Well, maybe a little bit.
See,
okay. There is a Class A document, a Holy Book of Thelema document. I've talked about it before, and I've done like Monday night classes with it, where we've actually had 6 of the members read a part. But it's Liber Ararita, okay, Liber 8:13. And it's in a way like a huge, complex ritualized commentary on the hexagram ritual. And it's called Ararita, Ararta, which is the initials of the Hebrew phrase of unity. Can you say it in?
Achad Rosh, Achdoto Rosh, Yechido, Temuratu Achad.
Which translates, one is his beginning, one is his individuality, his permutation is one. And I'm reading from the introduction here. The use of this name and formula is to equate and identify every idea with its opposite, thus being released from the obsession of thinking any one of them is true and therefore binding. One can withdraw oneself from the whole sphere of the Ruach. Okay, that's that part of the soul, the intellect part of the soul. So basically, that is to train yourself to see everything in partnership with its opposite until they each cancel each other out. And you rise above the Ruach. I always say that you can't think yourself across the abyss. and the above the abyss, all opposites are reconciled, and the idea is to train yourself, let no difference be made between any one thing and any other, thereby cometh hurt. And so the Liber Ararita, let's see if I can find a cover page to it. There's a nice cover page. You're seeing it backwards, I think. Is 13 sentences or verses, I guess you'd say, 0 through 12, and it's described best here. Contrast each verse of chapter 1 with the corresponding verse of chapter 2 for the first of these methods. Okay, the opposites kind of thing. Thus, in chapter 3, still verse-by-verse correspondence, the quintessence of the idea is extracted. So, 1 plus 2, the third one is the quintessence of the first two verses canceling themselves out. Now, we're not going to read all 12 of these, but the simplest ones to see are the first three, actually 4, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And with Taryn's help here, we're going to go through the first 3 of those, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, each of them 0, and we're going to contrast it with the 0 of the next one, and then we're going to synthesize it with the third one, just to give you an example. And on each chapter is identified by a letter of Ararita. So chapter 1 is the A, chapter 2 is the R, or the Resh, and chapter 3 would be the Yud. So I'm going to, here, I'll impose upon Taryn here. You take 2.
Okay.
And I'll take 1 and 3, and we'll go back and forth like that. So, for the first one, the 0 one, sort of headlines the whole thing with the phrase, the English phrase of Ararita. So, my 0. O my God, one is thy beginning, one is thy spirit, and thy permutation one.
And then I read the 0 of 2, or I read 1.
You read 2.
Okay, the 0 of 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll do mine again. O my God, one is thy beginning, one is thy spirit, and thy permutation one.
Now then I saw these things averse and evil, and they were not, even as thou art not.
Okay. And then the one that synthesizes that. Say thou that he, God, is one. God is the everlasting one, nor hath he any equal, or any son, or any companion. Nothing shall stand before his face. Okay, so the first one, for number 1, is, let me extol thy perfections before men.
I saw the twin heads that ever battle against one another, so that all their thought is a confusion. I saw thee in these.
Even for 511 times nightly, For 41 days did I cry aloud unto the Lord the affirmation of his unity. Now, do you see how those moved one to another? First one is a unity one. The second one is these battling heads. And the third one is back to the affirmation of unity. Okay. My first verse, or first chapter, let me say, the second one is, in the image of the sixfold star that flameth across the vault inane, let me reveal thy perfections.
I saw the darkness of wisdom, like black apes chattering vile nonsense. I saw thee in these.
And the third, also did I glorify his wisdom, whereby he made the worlds. Okay, the third verse of chapter 1. Thou hast appeared unto me as an aged God, a venerable God, the Lord of time, bearing a sharp sickle.
I saw the devouring mothers of hell that eat up their children, O ye that are without understanding. I saw thee in these.
Yea, I praised him for his intelligible essence, whereby the universe became light. Now I'm going to digress here for a second, because this is the ones that we just read here was verse 3. 3 is the sphere of Saturn. Okay, the sphere of Saturn. So my first one was the first aspect of Saturn. Thou hast appeared to me as an aged God, a venerable God, Lord of time, bearing a sharp sickle. But Saturn in number 2 is...
I saw the devouring mothers of hell that eat up their children. O ye that art without understanding, I saw thee in these.
Okay, when you got both of those making sense of each other, it synthesizes with, yea, I praised him for his intelligible essence, whereby the universe became light. Now, number 4 would be then the sphere of Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, first chapter. Thou hast appeared to me as a jocund and ruddy God, full of majesty, a king, a father in his prime. Thou didst bear the scepter of the universe, crowned with the wheel of the Spirit.
I saw the merciless and unmajestic, like harpies tearing their foul food. I saw thee in these.
And those are reconciled with, yea, I praised him for his intelligible essence. Oh, no. I did thank him for his manifold mercy. I did worship his magnificence and majesty. Oh, let's go on. Let's go on to number 5. 5 is the sphere of Mars. Thou hast appeared unto me with sword and spear, a warrior God in flaming armor among thine horsemen.
I saw the burning ones, giants like volcanoes, belching out the black vomit of fire and smoke in their fury. I saw thee in these.
I trembled before his might.
Mm-hmm.
And number 6 is the sun, the sphere of the sun. Thou hast appeared unto me as a young and brilliant God, a God of music and beauty, even as a young God in his strength, playing upon the lyre.
I saw the petty, the quarrelsome, the selfish. They were like men. O Lord, they were even like unto men. I saw thee in these.
I delighted in the harmony and the beauty of his essence. Okay, number 7, the sphere of Venus. Thou hast appeared unto me as the white foam of ocean, gathered into limbs whiter than the foam, the limbs of a miracle woman, as a goddess of extreme love, bearing the girdle of gold.
I saw the ravens of death that flew with the hoarse cries upon the carrion earth. I saw thee in these.
In his victory I pursued his enemies. Yea, I drave them out. I drave them down the steep. I thundered after them into the utmost abyss. Yea, therein I partook of the glory of my Lord. And 8 is the sphere of Hod, Mercury. Thou hast appeared to me as a young boy, mischievous and lovely, with thy winged globe and its serpents set upon a staff.
I saw the lying spirits like frogs upon the earth, and upon the water, and upon the treacherous metal that corrodeth all things and abideth not. I saw thee in these.
His splendor shone upon me. I adored his adorable splendor. Okay, number 9, the sphere of Luna. Thou hast appeared to me as an huntress among thy dogs, as a goddess virginal chaste, as a moon among the faded oaks of the wood of years.
I saw the obscene ones, bull-like men, linked in the abyss of putrefaction, that gnawed each other's tongues for pain. I saw thee in these.
I rested myself admiring the stability of him, how the shaking of his universe, the dissolution of all things should move him not. And then 10 would be our Malkuth, okay? I was deceived by none of these. All these I cast aside, crying, Begone! So that all these faded from my vision.
I saw the woman. O my God, I beheld the image thereof, even as a lovely shape that concealeth a black monkey, even as a figure that draweth with her hands small images of men down into hell. I saw her from the head of the navel of a woman, from the navel to the feet of her a man. I saw her even in her. I saw thee even in her.
Yea, verily, I, the Lord, vice-regent of his kingdom, I, Adonai, who speak unto my servant VVVVV, did rule and govern in his place. Now we've come down the tree of life through 10, okay? And now we have 11, 12, and 13. 13 is the number of unity, okay? 11 is the union of the 5 and the 6, the Holy Guardian Angel and his client, okay? 11. Also, I welded together the flaming star and the sixfold star in the forge of my soul. And behold, a new star, 418, that is above all these.
For mine was the key world to the closed palace, 418, and mine the reins of the chariot of the sphinxes, black and white. But I was not deceived by anything of all these things.
Yea, also did I formulate the word of double power in the voice of the Master, even the word 418. Now, 418 is the numeration for Abra Hadabra. Okay, the union of the 5 and the 6. 5 A's and 6 other letters. Number 12. Yea, even so I was not deceived, for the crown hath 12 rays.
For I expanded it by my subtlety into 12 rays of the crown.
And all these things deceive me not, for I expanded them by my subtlety into the 12 rays of the crown. And number 13. And these 12 rays are one.
And these 12 rays were one.
And these 12 rays were one. Now, it proceeds even deeper and deeper. As a matter of fact, I will just briefly tell you how it proceeds. Contrast each verse of chapter 1 with the corresponding verse of chapter 2 for the first of these methods. Thus, in chapter 3, still verse-by-verse correspondence, the quintessence of the idea is extracted. And in chapter 4, they are withdrawn, each one into the one beyond it. In chapter 5, they've disappeared into the method itself. In chapter 6, they reappear in the form appointed by the will of the adept. Lastly, in chapter 7, they are dissolved, one into the next, until all finally disappear in the fire kadosh, the quintessence of reality.
Huzzah.
Huzzah for sure. Let's take number 6.
Okay.
Or number 7, excuse me. And let's just alternate here. Then in the might of the lion did I formulate unto myself that holy and formless fire, kadosh, which darteth and flashes through the depths of the universe.
At the touch of the fire kadosh, the earth melted into a liquor clear as water.
At the touch of the fire kadosh, the water smoked into a lucid air.
At the touch of the fire kadosh, the air ignited and became fire.
At the touch of the fire kadosh, O Lord, the fire dissipated into space.
At the touch of the fire kadosh, O Lord, the space resolved itself into a profundity of mind.
At the touch of the fire kadosh, the mind of the Father was broken up into the brilliance of our Lord the Son.
At the touch of the fire kadosh, the brilliance of our Lord was absorbed in the knot of Our Lady of the body of the milk of the stars.
Then only was the fire kadosh extinguished, when the enterer was driven back from the threshold.
And the Lord of silence was established upon the lotus flower.
Then was accomplished all that which was to be accomplished.
And all and one and naught were slain in the slaying of the warrior 418.
In the slaying of the subtlety that expanded all these things into the 12 rays of the crown.
That returned unto one and beyond one, even unto the vision of the fool in his folly, that chanted the word Ararita, and beyond the word and the fool, yea, beyond the word and the fool.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
You're a good sport, I tell you.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too. Also, there's various ways that you can look at the 12 rays of the crown. How can you describe what the 12 rays of the crown are?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. On one of its most simplistic aspects, I think it's the belt of the zodiac.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it's kind of, well, like you were saying, you get through the 10 Sephira, and then you also have the angel and the client.
Right.
As I mean, really, then you could say that you have the 10 Sephira, the circle, and the square, right, that are moving in the equation up and down the tree.
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
So that's another way to sort of think about it and break it down, but
And often you see in images or diagrams of the tree of life that at Kether, the crown.
oh yeah, it's shooting off.
Our glories, the union of the 5 and the 6, and Ararita is really kind of based on the sixness of that union. If you would draw just a plain hexagram that we're used to, the Mogan David, two triangles, there are 6 points on that triangle, or on that hexagram. And even on a universal hexagram, of course, there are the six points. Mm-hmm. And we could call those points rays. Okay. But in both of those images, the unicursal hexagram and the Mogan David, there are also 6 rays that point inward toward the center.
A total of 12 vertices, yeah.
Right. So instantly in one image, it's sort of like you've seen the silhouette images of 2 people almost nose to nose.
Right.
And they're black and white. Okay, there's 2 silhouettes, 2 people nose to nose, and the background is pure white, and it looks like a black, a white vase.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, or a chalice of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're looking at both of them at the same time, both realities, the background and the front, showing the images of the people and the images of the chalice at the same time. That's almost like the hexagram forming the 12 rays, and it's one.
Yeah.
So, but that's just one way of looking at it.
Well, and you were saying the 12 rays that come off of the crown at Keter, but also like in Liber 13, Graduum de Monzabi Ignis, Crowley puts those 12 rays on Tiferet because the diagram only goes up that far.
It only goes up that far.
That's the crown of the great work, right? The accomplishment of the great work is the achievement of the angel, right?
Right, and that's that's a union of 5 and 6 itself, because Tifereth is 5 equals 6,
And one's the 2 people and one's the vase,
one's
right?
the vase, right.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you very much, Darren.
You're very welcome.
And thanks for schlepping us around here while my
of course, anytime.
While my car is undergoing therapy. Couldn't handle this. Anyway, hopefully it won't be too expensive. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
Love is the law. Love under will.
Bye-bye.